Click the bell icon to get latest videos from Ekeeda.
Hello friends, we have seen what is conduction and how to do analysis in case of conduction. Let us consider one case study to understand in detail about the conduction. So this is a small case study where we have considered a small problem. The problem is quite practical. What we have done, we have considered a cube of some material of thermal conductivity, let's say K. Now for that material, again the dimensions we have considered is, let's say, A. A is the length, width and the height of the cube that we have considered, and T is the thickness. Similarly, in this case what we have done, we have kept ice inside the cube. Now the ice is kept at 0 degrees Celsius. There is the air around it and the temperature of the air is, let's say, 25. That is the ambient air that is blowing around it. What we need to find out is what is the time required to convert this ice into a water at 0 degrees Celsius. So this is 0 degrees Celsius. So what should be the time required for that? So we can do, or we can start our analysis for this problem, but before that, again, certain assumptions that we need to understand in this. So the first assumption is, see here, what we can do is we can draw a small diagram, or I can simply zoom this part over here. So we have a thickness of the material. So let us say this thickness is, we have considered this as T, and then there is a ice over here. So I can write, so this is simply ice, and then there is a air to the other side. So this is how we can imagine this small part may look like. Now with this, what we can assume is that ice temperature is first of all uniform, means at any given corner the temperature is same, that is 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, means there is no local difference in the temperature in the given cube of ice. Then there is the direct contact between ice and the solid material. So there is no gap between this, or there is no air between this. There is a direct contact between the solid and ice. So this is my solid, this is air. Then the third thing is the thermal conductivity, that is K, for solid and the thermal conductivity for ice, they are considered as constant. Then very important parameter, there is no heat transfer between ice itself. Now this is obviously evident from the first point, since the temperature is uniform in the ice, there is no heat transfer between the or within the ice. So these are certain assumptions that we need to understand before starting our analysis. Now as we keep on going as we keep on doing the analysis, we will find that more numbers of assumptions are added to the given system. So for, or by writing the heat balance equation, what we can say that the heat transfer by conduction is same as the heat loss by the ice. You can make it from this equation. The heat that is transferring is basically from the outside, some heat will be entering into the block. Now this is what we are calling as q dash of conduction, and then this heat is same as that heat lost by the ice by converting itself to the water. So this q dash of conduction can easily be given as minus ka dt by dx. Now this is nothing but the Fourier's law. Now this is only considered for one side. We are going to consider such 5 sides here. So we have to multiply by 5. See here, we are going to assume that there is no heat transfer from the downside slab over here. So the heat transfer is only possible from the rest of the 5 sides. So we are going to write down the Fourier's law of heat conduction to one side and simply multiply it by 5 sides. So again, we can say that the thermal conductivity is, it's isentropic, means the value of K does not vary in any direction. It is same in all the 4 direction or all the 3 direction. So that is my third assumption, that the value of K is constant in all direction. Now this we are going to equate with the heat loss by the ice. As we have seen that ice is simply converting from 0 degree Celsius to 0 degree Celsius water. The heat loss is only a latent heat. So we will multiply it by mass. So m into HFG is the heat lost. Mass itself can be written as density into volume into HFG. Now let us put the number. So this is 5. See the thermal conductivity. See, we don't know what is the thermal conductivity. So for that we need to assume some sort of a material. So let us do that. So here we know that for copper the thermal conductivity is given as 384. So let us assume that my material is copper. So if I assume that this solid material is nothing but copper, then we can start solving the given problem. We have to also assume some numbers such as the value of A and the value of T. Let us say the A is 1 feet, so that is 30 centimeter, and the thickness is, let's say, 1 centimeter. So again, these are my assumptions. So by considering that the value of K we have seen for copper, it is approximately 385. So let us write that 385 into the area. The area we have seen, the area is nothing but A square. So A we have considered as 30 centimeter. So that is 30 into 10 raised to minus 2 the whole square, multiply by, now this minus sign can be eliminated if I write dt as it is, that is 25 minus 0, and the thickness we have considered as 1, so 1 centimeter, that is 10 raised to minus 2. This we are going to write as density into volume. Now what is density? The density for ice, it is approximately, the density of water is approximately 10,000 kg per meter cube, and that of ice, if you see, it is approximately again 920. We know that the density of ice, even though it is solid, it is lesser than that of the water. So let me write that it is 920. My volume is A cube, and my A we have considered as 30. So this is 30 into 10 raised to minus 2 cube into the HFG, that is the latent heat of fusion. And this value is approximately 335 joule. So let us write that 335 joule. Now with this, if I keep on converting, what I am going to get is nothing here, because what mistake we have done here is, this is Q dash, that is the rate of heat transfer, and this is the heat transfer. Now we need to divide this by the time. So this time parameter will come into picture over here, and then we will be able to find out the required time here. So if I rearrange the terms and if I solve this, I can get the value of time here. So let us do that. See here, this can be cancelled out over here. So we are only left with this. So this is 5 into 385 multiply by 25. divide by, let's say, 10 raised to minus 2 is equal to, here we have got 920 into 0.3, let's say, into 335 upon time. So now again, if I rearrange the terms, I can write time value as, so this is 920 into 0.3 into 335 divided by, I can take it to the other side, so this is 5 into 385 into 25 into 100. Now this can be solved easily to find the value of time here. So let us do that. So if we solve this, we are approximately getting this as 0.02 seconds. Now this time you can see is very small. Why this time very small? Because we have considered my solid as copper. Now this is all given for copper. If I would have considered some other material, my value would have been something different. So in this problem, we have taken a very general practical problem to understand the use of the knowledge of heat transfer with the help of certain assumptions. We have found that if I vary the solids, my value of time required to cool the ice from 0 to water at 0 degrees Celsius may vary depending on the thermal conductivity of a given solid. We have also seen how to use those assumptions to solve any given practical problems. Now that is it in this topic. Thank you for watching this video. Please stay tuned with Ekeeda and subscribe to Ekeeda. Thank you.